Hello, and so today what we're going to do is we're going to start with finding the volume of our solid here or our composite figure. And so yesterday we talked about how we could find these missing side lengths here. And so now that we found all of our missing side lengths, now it is time to go ahead and separate our composite figure here into two parts, and so into two rectangular prisms. And so yesterday we talked about this, and so we'll do this one together, and then I'm going to have you do number 2, 3, and 4 on your own during our stations today. Okay, so what I'm going to do is there are multiple ways that we can split this up, but I'm just seeing a certain way here right away. I see that I want to split this right here. It's really hard to see this blue highlighter. And so what I'm also going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw a thick line. You can do this with your pencil. And so it'll go straight down. And so that way that I have my rectangular prism A and my rectangular prism B. And so here you go. So you can kind of see it a little bit better. And so now that I have my two rectangular prisms, just like yesterday, I'm going to go ahead and solve. I need to find the volume for rectangular prism A, and then I'll solve for rectangular prism B. And then what we'll do is all together at the end, we will add our two total volumes. And so let's go ahead, let me back out just a little bit. All right, so for A, we're going to start with putting our volume formula at the top here. Volume equals length times width times height. And then for shape A, I'm going to put A in parentheses. I can see here that the 14 goes all the way across. So I know that the 14 will not be my length. Instead, I'm going to come up here to that line there that does not go all the way across. And so my length for shape A or rectangular prism A is 9. And so I'll plug that in, so 9 times, and then width is usually that diagonal, which we talked about yesterday, so there's our diagonal there. So width is 2 feet, and then our height here is how tall up and down, and we have 13 feet. So we will find the answer here. We have 9 times 2, which is 18. We want to bring down that times 13. And so I don't know this off the top of my head, so I'm going to work it out over here on the side. Right? 3 times 8 is 24. 3 times 1 is 3 plus 2 is 5. Go ahead and cross those off. Move on to my 1, which really is a 10. So we'll drop my 0 down. 1 times 8 is 8. 1 times 1 is 1. And then we add these together here. 8 plus 5, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 1 plus 1 is 2. So the volume for our rectangular prism A is 234, and don't forget our units here, it's feet cubed. We show that by that little 3. You can also write cubic feet, that is the same answer, so that works as well. So let's go on to our rectangular prism B. And so for rectangular prism B, we're just looking at just that little one here off to the side. And so our length is going to be across, so we can easily see here that 5 is going to be across the top, and then our width is usually that diagonal. So our diagonal here is the 2, and then times length, or times height, times height is going to be up and down, and that is 6. Let's go ahead. We can answer this. 5 times 2 is 10. Bring down that times 6. 10 times 6, our volume for B is 60 feet cubed. And so just like yesterday, what we talked about is that we wanted to, once we got both of our volumes for our shapes here, then we wanted to add those two volumes together. And so we've got 234 plus 60 equals what? And so you might have to stack this as well on the side. So 234 plus 60. 4 plus 0 is 4. 6 plus 3 is 9. 2 plus nothing is 2. So we've got 294. So our total volume of this shape is 294 feet cubed. We're going to go ahead and circle that. And so here we are. We've got our answer for number 1. And so one thing I want to show you is that on number 2, I kind of can see that I would just probably separate it right there, right across the way, right across to where this top part is one rectangular prism and my bottom one is a second rectangular prism. So that's probably how I would separate this one. But then on number 3 and on number 4, right, because we've got number 3 here, and then we've also have number 4, which are similar kind of looking figures. And so if you notice right away, you can tell that you're not going to be able to separate it just into 2 prisms. Okay, so we're going to have to separate this into at least 3. And so you can separate them however you would like, but kind of what I'm seeing is I'm kind of seeing putting a line here and then a line here. And so that would make this prism would be, I would just say A, this one would be B, and this one would be C. And so I'm not going to give you the answer because I'd love for you to work it out. But guys, don't freak out about seeing 3 prisms. You would do it the same way that you would with the 2 prisms. You just would add all 3 of them together at the end. So you would add all 3 volumes together of these 3 prisms to get the total volume of that composite shape there. Okay? If you have questions, please reach out to myself or the substitute that is going to be in the room today. But otherwise, work through these problems, and then I'll be back this afternoon. Thank you.